I don't have to be fearful when I go out by myself because I truly am always protected. And when I exercise my mystical art of feminine energy, when I exercise my magic and my natural spiritual connection that I have, then I can call forth the protection that's needed for me to feel safe in any given scenario. It doesn't just apply to when I'm going out alone. Peace and prosperity. Welcome back to Earth's Feminine. This is the channel where you can come and learn all about primal feminine energy, the feminine energy that existed on the planet before colonization, and all of the conditioning that has been done to the planet around what we believe around womanhood and the way that we express ourselves as women on this planet and the feminine energy of the collective in general. So welcome. My name is Asaya and I am the creatrix and founder of the Creatrix Academy. The Creatrix Academy is an online platform where you can access courses and programs that teach you what I have coined as the mystical art of feminine energy. Right now, until the end of December, I have 50% off of all courses that you can enroll into now or pre-enroll into. All of that is available for 50% off. You just have to use the code Earth's Feminine at the checkout. So make sure you put that code in. And also, if you are on a budget and you would like to enroll with a payment plan, I have access to payment plan providers such as Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna, to where you can basically get started without having to put 100% of your investment down to start. So I am looking forward to seeing the academy grow, women coming in and getting all of their juicy activations, learning more about what it means to be a woman outside of the Matrix's definition of womanhood and feminine energy. In today's video, I want to talk about how to begin to go out as a woman alone and not feel like you need to, in order for you to go out and enjoy your life and do things, that you need to have someone with you in order to do that. I personally, at this point in my life, I only go out alone. When I was younger, like in my early 20s and before I had my daughter mainly, I typically would always go out with someone. I always had a friend with me. I always had people with me. I was always, with people. And if I was ever alone, I would typically always be in my house, or I would just be to myself and I wouldn't go anywhere if I didn't have anybody to accompany me. And as I moved into my late 20s and had my daughter and realized what it meant to be a grown woman and fully embody my sovereignty as a woman, I also realized that there's going to be times where I want to do things and I want to explore things that other people, right? Like they're just not going to want to do with me, or they're not going to be able to go with me, or my friends are not, I know when you get to that age or when you get into a certain phase in your life, a lot of your friends seem like they don't really want to do what you want to do. At least for me, the women that I was meeting and the friends that I was making, it was like they were there for certain things, but not there for all of the things that I really wanted to do, or down for any of the things that I wanted to do. And it's always great to have that clique or that circle of friends that you could just really express a certain area of yourself with and go out and have fun with. But I did get to a certain point in my life where I didn't have that anymore. And I Also, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I moved across the country to the state of Washington into the Pacific Northwest. And I am originally from the South. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. So when I was living in New Orleans, okay, because I could get into my New Orleans accent if I wanted to, but um, Asaya, regular Asaya, talks like this. Um, when I was living in New Orleans, um, I had more friends. I was connected to more people. I just had that network already because I had already put in the work. I had been living there for a long time after Katrina, and that was just my network. And so when I left and I was pregnant with my daughter, my network changed. You know, I was living with my mom, and a lot of her friends started to become my friends because I wasn't really going out when I was pregnant, wasn't really going to too many places. I stayed inside. I want to say the majority of my pregnancy. I was very, very emotionally all over the place. I wasn't used to the weather in the Pacific Northwest, and I was basically pregnant during a lot of the cloudy and darker seasons. So I didn't even feel like I wanted to go anywhere. I just felt like I wanted to stay in and be to myself. But basically, when I moved out of my mom's house and I started to basically get on my own feet and realize what it meant to be a grown woman, and that sometimes being a grown woman means that you have to go your own way and you have to follow your own intuition. You have to follow your own mind without anyone's permission, without anyone's validation, without anybody patting you on the back and going, that was a great decision. You just have to trust you. And that is a huge part of stepping into womanhood and stepping into sovereignty, is being able to trust you without a shadow of a doubt. And a part of expressing that sovereignty for me has been feeling confident going out alone and being by myself when I am out in public. And the reason why a lot of women I know tend to not want to do this is because we've been made and programmed to feel very vulnerable being on our own and by ourselves. And for good reason, right? We're not going to act like, you know, there has not been hundreds, if not thousands. We'll just say it's definitely in the thousands of incidents where women have been by themselves and they've been made, you know, the target of some kind of victimization, some kind of abuse. However, with me being a spiritual coach and with me being in touch with my higher awareness, I do understand that we are coming out of a dark era. We are coming out of a dark time where a lot of people did not understand the power of our energy and the power of our mind and the power that we have within us as women. So I couldn't allow people's past experiences and the stigmas around women doing things on their own and how it's not safe and how it's dangerous to stop me from living my life and experiencing my life without anybody else's opinion coming in to basically cloud how I see myself. I had to accept that this was a part of me exercising my power. So I get that a lot of women don't go out by themselves or alone because they believe that it's dangerous and they believe that somebody could come out and get them. And if you don't do any energy work, if you don't do any energy healing, if you don't create that field of protection around you as a woman, spiritually, which you do have the power to do, then absolutely I would say, you know, don't go out alone because you have all of this energy in your field that's attracting these scenarios to you, right? If you've been through things or you grew up in a certain way, there may be some things in your energy field that will attract certain scenarios to you. What I decided to do, because I was having experiences on and off where I would come into contact with masculinity that would, I feel like, where basically I would feel like I wasn't being protected in those moments. There was moments where, I would get into conversation with men, and like all of a sudden the man like says something really disrespectful to me, and the men around me like don't do anything to check him, or it's whenever women are in a field or a space where they feel like the masculine energy in their area doesn't care about them, or won't stand up for them or defend them, if they have some kind of like issues with feminine energy or their masculine energy, naturally a woman is not going to feel safe. And that's what ended up happening to me initially when I moved out on my own. There were a few, wasn't a lot, was a few incidences that ended up happening, and I would tell myself, I'm never going there again, I'm never going to that place again, or whatever. But then it got to a point where I'm like, I want to experience something different. Now I know what I really don't like to experience when I'm out by myself, when I'm in contact with the masculine. This is actually what I would love to experience. So this is what I did, y'all. I did a protection spell, okay? So I did some protection magic, and the protection spell that I did, I'm going to upload it to the Creatrix Academy. So if you are interested in knowing exactly what I did and the exact ritual that I did in order to create this field of protection that I have around me in regards to the masculine, then you can go to the Creatrix Academy and enroll now, because the 50% off also applies to this course as well. When I did this protection ritual, after I did it, something very interesting happened, and I didn't even notice that it happened until it clicked. I noticed that everywhere I would go, there would be a man, and he would either be wearing a certain kind of color. He would be wearing black. He would be wearing a black belt. That was the one thing that I always noticed. He would be wearing a black belt, or he would be wearing, so the black belt was the one thing that they all had. Like, it was the black belt, okay? And aside from that, I noticed that either they were completely dressed in black, or they had on red, some kind of red, okay? And whenever I would go out, there would always be a man with a black belt or some kind of black or red on with the black belt, who would be there to give me some kind of support, or some kind of like, basically was energetically like just letting me know that he's got me, right? And so it would either be just outright like, I got you, or it would just be his presence, his energy, his aura would meet with mine, and it would just communicate that, right? So that started happening every time I would go out. These men would make sure that I was good, that they would cover my tabs for whatever I had. They would make sure that I was safe. They would ask me if I needed, if I wanted to go with them to this place in this area, or, like, they just had this really protective energy. And I kid you not, I did not notice this. Like, I didn't notice it at all until I came home one night. And I was like, man, this has happened like 3 times in a row. Like, what's going on here? And it started clicking to me in my head, and I was like, wait a minute. All of these men had a black belt on, okay? And they were either wearing black or red. And it was really, really interesting because of the way that I did the protection ritual. It was in complete alignment with the symbols that I was seeing on these men, such as the black belt, the black shirt, the red, which I explain in depth in the actual ritual that I'll be sharing with you all. If you want to learn all the deets, again, make sure you pre-enroll into that course for learning how to do the protection spell. It was in that moment I came home and it just all clicked, and I was like, oh my gosh, the protection spell worked. So that was like a big game changer for me in really accepting that I don't have to be fearful when I go out by myself, because I truly am always protected. And when I exercise a mystical art of feminine energy, when I exercise my magic and my natural spiritual connection that I have, then I can call forth the protection that's needed for me to feel safe in any given scenario. It doesn't just apply to when I'm going out alone. After that, I continue to go out alone and have an amazing time. And consistently, I know when I go out, there will be a man in black, or there will be that masculine energy there, right, with that black belt on, to protect me and to let me know that there is protective masculine energy all around me, and that I don't have to continue to carry this trauma of not feeling safe as my pure, true, powerful, and sovereign feminine self. Because that is our natural essence. We are naturally powerful. We are naturally sovereign in our healthy feminine energy. And a lot of women are scared to break off from other women and, their feminine circle, because it's comfortable and it feels really good. And there are a lot of benefits to having a group of women who, can be there to have fun with you. But sometimes, and most times, when you are really going on a journey of self-discovery and self-realization, you need to be able to do things alone, and you need to be able to experience yourself by yourself. And you shouldn't have to be fearful when you're going out into the world and going out into the public, when you do that just because you think you're alone when you're really not. There are various spirits that are on your team, and especially if you have some strong ancestry and, which we all do if you decide to connect to it, if you decide to be in tune with it, they will summon what is necessary for you to be protected and for you to have what you need. And you are summoning them to summon things for you. And that is the power of the feminine. And that is basically how I started to go out by myself and feel more confident in going out by myself, is knowing that I'm good, I'm protected, I'm not alone just because I'm a woman. I'm not more vulnerable just because I'm a woman. Actually, I can summon all of the things that I need for me to feel safe, for me to feel protected. So that is what I have to say on basically how to go out alone in confidence by yourself. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give a big like and subscribe, join the Earth's Feminine community, and comment what you think about this video below in the comments. Do you feel like a lot of women are fearful of doing things by themselves on their own because there is this societal dogma around how it's not safe for women to do certain things because of all of the past experiences women have had of being basically abused when they are vulnerable? Or do you believe that it is simply women being usurped of their power through the mind wiping and the brainwashing around who they believe themselves to be and what their power is capable of, right? I personally think that women have just come to believe that they truly are vulnerable, they truly are weak, and truly are at the whims of what this matrix has made them endure and suffer through from disconnecting them from the earth. Okay, ladies, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.